Perks of Being a Wallflower is the 2012 drama film written and directed by the source author Stephen Chbosky, and it stars Logan Lerman, Emma Watson, and Ezra Miller. Logan Lerman plays Charlie, a freshman in high school that suffers from clinical depression. He has a hard time making friends, but is soon taken under the wing of Sam and Patrick, played by Watson and Miller. As we explore these characters, we learn that Charlie is coping with his mental illness, his first love, and the suicide of his best friend. This is the next film in my Quarantine Picks series where I'm rewatching a lot of my old favorite films while staying indoors. I went and saw this movie in its very, very limited theatrical release, and I remember enjoying it a lot. It's actually one of the films I helped use to describe my new screenplay that I've been working on writing. While I do enjoy this film, I also take a lot of issues with it. First, let's start with the good. I think Logan Lerman was definitely expertly casted as the role of Charlie. While this character is certainly low-key, as the title would describe, as a wallflower, I feel like improper casting would have destroyed this character. Lerman has this ability to hide all of the feelings that Charlie's feeling inside, which I feel like is very essential to nailing this kind of character. I would also say the same for Ezra Miller. I'd mostly say that he's probably playing himself in this role, but I feel like it works for this character. The character Patrick has a front that he consistently puts on because he's trying to hide a lot of his feelings, and I think Miller plays that very well. There is one bit of casting that I'm always conflicted about every time I watch that movie, and a lot of people who know me are going to find this as a complete surprise, but it's Emma Watson. I feel like the character of Sam is really cliched in her backstory, which I'm not saying the sort of things that have happened to her don't happen in real life to girls of her age, but I feel like it was portrayed in a very cliched way. Although the part I'm conflicted about is if I just don't really like Emma Watson as this character, or if I just don't like the character in general. I feel like it probably could have been played better if the material was written a bit differently. Like I said, I feel like it's hard for me to decide if I just don't like this character, or if I felt like Watson was just a bad casting choice in general. Don't get me wrong, she's fantastic. I love her to death, but there's just something about that character that bothers me every time I watch this movie. And this leads me into my next point, which is why I believe it's potentially the character. I feel like the script at times is just very, very bland with its use of dialogue. There's a lot of moments between Charlie and Sam that I just feel like were a bit too on the nose. It's been 8 years since this movie came out, and I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times, and there's still lines in this movie that make me roll my eyes every time I watch it. The filmmaking itself is pretty bland as well. I feel like the cinematography was just used as a way to just point at the action instead of trying to enhance the story. I almost feel like the way that this script is directed, it would have been better as a play than a movie. For movies that are mostly talking like this one, I definitely appreciate more when the filmmakers try to go out of their way to add more dynamic range to the scenes. And that's one of those things that's keeping me from calling this movie great instead of just good. However, don't get me wrong, I still thoroughly enjoy this movie. It's certainly watchable just for the main character, the story, and there's a lot of great moments in it as well. I just feel like there's a lot keeping me from being able to tell people that it has a lot of rewatchability unless there's something that you find that you really connect with. So, for Shredy's take, I'm going to say that The Perks of Being a Wallflower is a one and done. If you only watch this movie once, I would completely understand. If you find something that you connect with and watch it on repeat viewings like, there is with this cult following with the book, I would understand that as well. But for me, if I never watch this movie again, then I would be okay with it. But I can also see why a viewer would find value in watching it more than once. So, what did you think of this movie? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Definitely leave me a comment down in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, so that way more people can find it. If you want to see more reviews like this in the future, definitely hit the subscribe button. Until next time, thank you so much for watching this review, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.